Our most iconic African species are being pushed towards extinction, killed by poachers to supply an illegal trade worth up to £15 billion a year.
Oh, sickening.
On the front line of this war are Africa's elephants, slaughtered for their ivory. Despite a ban on the international ivory trade, the killing is only getting worse. 30,000 are shot every year. And if that continues, they could be gone from the wild within 25 years. I can't bear to think we might lose these wise and emotionally intelligent animals.
Bulletproof for you.
So I'm investigating the violent and murky world of the illegal ivory trade. Who's doing the killing?
That is quite a weight of lead there too, isn't it?
Yes.
And who's doing the buying and selling?
This is our guy.
Are we in the UK part of the problem?
It's going to exactly the same market as the modern poached ivory.
And if so, how can I prove it?
6 out of 9 pieces. Illegal.
Armed with the facts and the evidence, it's time to do everything we can for Africa's elephants. If we're going to stop the killing of elephants, I need to understand the global trail of poached ivory. It's spring 2016, and I'm responding to a call that could put me onto that trail. At Heathrow, customs have seized a consignment of fresh ivory. It's been smuggled in suitcases by 2 passengers transferring through the airport. I've been invited by Border Force's Grant Miller to join zoologist Alex Rhodes as he takes samples from the ivory.
Goodness, it's all here.
That's here. This is just shy of 140 kilos of ivory that was detected at the UK border.
This haul could fetch up to £120,000 on the black market. Some has been roughly worked into beads and bangles, but there are also raw tusks cut up into sections.
I didn't expect to see this in England. I mean, this to me seems like a foreign problem, but it's here on our own ground. This has something immediate and very brutal about it, and you know, this is dried meat. This is from inside the elephant's body, isn't it? It's just, it even has a smell to it that suggests that this didn't happen very long ago.
A third of an elephant's tusk is embedded deep in its head, so the only way to remove it is by killing the animal.
You can see the hack marks here, where with a knife or with a machete they've used to cleave the tusk away from the head of the animal. That's all right.
Part of Alex's work is to collect samples of recent seizures for DNA analysis.
What we're going to do here is we're going to take the meat off it. It doesn't matter if it comes off in pieces. Yeah, that's perfect.
The DNA will be compared to a genetic map of African elephants to pinpoint where these animals were shot.
Is there a sort of quantity of material we're looking here for, Alex? Because I'm not particularly relishing this task, I can tell you.
If you look closely, you can see this is actually skull here.
Oh, my God.
The compiled data points to the latest poaching hotspots in Africa, which helps focus anti-poaching efforts on the ground.
Hugh, I think you're probably there.
Well, that was horrible. I just hope it's useful.
Oh, don't we all? Don't we all?
I didn't come here today expecting to scrape dead meat off an elephant's tusk. I've never touched an elephant's tusk before. And I don't know, I came looking for, I don't know, some kind of insight or understanding, and I actually feel now viscerally connected to the problem.
Last year alone, Border Force made 182 seizures of ivory in the UK. Worldwide, the tusks of around 5,000 elephants were intercepted. But that's just a fraction of the smuggled ivory that goes undetected to its destination. I need to get to the grim starting point in the international trail of illegal ivory. The DNA testing of ivory hulls, like the one at Heathrow, shows that 78% of recently poached ivory is from the savanna elephants of Tanzania and Mozambique. So I'm heading to the heart of this killing zone, the Niassa Reserve in northern Mozambique. It's vast, twice the size of Wales. There's only the odd settlement and no big tourist industry. In fact, very few people at all.
We've just dropped down through the clouds, and the landscape just looks amazing here. It's the wildest bit of Africa I've ever seen. We really are in the middle of nowhere.
The reserve is jointly managed by the Mozambican government and the Wildlife Conservation Society.
Hi, Rob.
You're welcome to Niassa Reserve.
Thank you very much.
Rob Craig is the reserve manager.
Hopping in the back.
Just jump in here.
With the help of around 100 rangers, his job is to protect this huge area. To get a handle on the scale of the challenge, he's taking me up onto one of the spectacular outcrops.
I think that's the most incredible African view I've ever seen, Rob. That's Niassa.
Yep. There's wild dogs there, leopards, hyenas, antelopes. You've got obviously the elephants, and there's over 1,000 lions.
And why is it so special for Africa's savanna elephants?
I think it is one of the key refuges, one of the key wilderness areas where elephants can roam in the wild still.
So how bad has it been then?
I mean, obviously we've lost a lot of elephants here. In 2011, our estimate was about 12,000 elephants.
In Niassa?
In Niassa Reserve alone. And we've now, in the account we did in 2014, exactly 3 years later, we had dropped to 4,441.
So nearly 2/3 of the elephants have already gone in just the last 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
That's a tragedy, isn't it?
Yep.
At the start of the 20th century, there were around 10 million elephants in Africa. In 1989, with just 600,000 left, the world finally took decisive action.
Delegates from more than 100 countries have agreed to ban all trade in ivory. The decision was taken at the United Nations.
The price of ivory fell, and elephant numbers actually began to recover. But from the start of the new millennium, demand in Asia has boomed, and poaching has returned to devastating levels. Jamie Wilson runs the surveillance for a stretch of the reserve bordering Tanzania. He's offered to take me up in his microlight.
Wow, incredible view from up here.
The microlight is a great tool for us to use to see what's going on. We've been seeing all this elephant sign, all these trails and tracks.
All those tracks are made by elephants, are they?
Yes, but because of the pressure of the poaching, they've become nocturnal and they're hiding now. We should be seeing them now, but they're all hiding in the trees.
So they've become much harder to spot since the poaching got really bad.
In neighboring Tanzania, across the river, over 60% of the country's elephants have been killed in just the last 7 years. As poachers there have found it harder to track down their target, they've come over into Mozambique.
My problem in this area is the cross-border poaching. They hit and run across the border and I can't follow or do anything.
So you're basically in the front line as the poachers come across from Tanzania.
That's exactly the word I was looking for, the front line. Okay, we might actually see some elephants here. I can see some signs. There's a mud wallow right there. You can actually see it.
Oh yeah, I can actually see the elephants' footprints in the mud.
Oh, there's some, look. You can see them running and into those trees there.
Yeah, I can see them, yeah.
You can see the back.
Yeah, 4 or 5 just moving through the bush. Wow, my first Niassa elephant. I can see them. There they are.
Now that we've located some of the elusive Niassa elephants, I'm hoping I might get closer to them. Wow. It's absolutely fantastic to see them. You know, there's something about elephants that's so universal, familiar. Everybody in the world knows what elephants look like. They've seen them on TV, they've read stories about them when they were kids. But to get this close to elephants that are truly wild in such a beautiful place, there's nothing like it. My heart's thumping. Just on our way back to camp, and in the last of the evening light, we saw this young bull out here chomping at the grasses, quite happy. But to me, away from the herd, out here on his own, he somehow looks really vulnerable. The next morning, I find out just how vulnerable these elephants are. Rob wants to show me the reality of poaching here in the reserve.
This is where we start to walk.
This is where we start, so we're going to head straight this way.
A few weeks ago, this village reported the sound of shots fired in the bush nearby. Leading the way are the reserve rangers who first followed up the report.
Hyena?
I can smell dead things. Wow. Here we go. Here we go.
Part of Rob's work is to confirm the cause of death for any elephant carcasses reported by the rangers.
So that's the...
There's nothing left. Nothing at all. Every single bone picked clean. It's obviously been completely ravaged and torn apart by hyenas and vultures and predators.
You're looking for like evidence of how it died and looking for bullet holes and...
Any kind of... That's not a bullet hole, is it?
AK. Yeah.
AK-47?
Yes.
Esse duas balas de capa 47, esse os 4 acho que é 375, como esse.
Yeah, there's 2 shooters.
Yeah.
The team would be bigger.
Of course.
A typical gang will include a couple of men to cut out the tusks and carry them away. Between all of them, they'll probably share as little as £100 for their work.
Esse elefante tinha só uma ponta.
Só uma?
Yeah.
É pequena, ele não é mais grande.
Esse elefante era pouco adulto.
One small tusk on a sub-adult. Either they're getting a very good price for their ivory or they just don't mind what they shoot.
Yeah. Yeah.
I guess in some ways it's a relief that I wasn't confronted with a more grisly scene here of something that had happened very recently. But unfortunately there is a grisly scene playing out in my head, and that's the scene of what actually happened here when this young male with a single small tusk ran into a gang of poachers, shooting him with at least 6 or 7 shots and hacking out that one little tusk. It's a horrible scene, it's a horrible thing to think about, but the real horror is that this isn't just one scene. This scene's being played out all over Africa, day after day, 30,000 times a year. This will happen 80 times today in Africa. I want to know how elephants are being killed for their ivory so blatantly in a national reserve. A significant proportion of the poachers are coming here from across a 350-kilometre stretch of the river Ruvuma that marks Mozambique's border with Tanzania. Around 20 border guards monitor and patrol that river boundary. But for 8,000 elephants to have been killed in the reserve in just the last 3 years, and much of their ivory known to be moving up into Tanzania, 20 border guards is clearly not enough. To understand the extent of the problem, I want to see how difficult it is to cross the border without papers. We're nearly halfway. What sort of things do people bring across the river?
They can bring some crops, bicycles, motorbike.
Motorbikes?
Yes.
Things to buy and sell? Okay. Tanzania, we're nearly there. Whoa. Salama. I'm on Tanzanian soil. Well, that was easy. If you want to get illegal ivory across the river into Tanzania and away, it couldn't be easier. Who's going to stop you? So what hope is there for the elephants of the Niassa Reserve that I've been with for the last couple of days, that I've seen looking so stunning in that incredible landscape, but also lying slaughtered in the bush? The slaughter's just going to go on. The ivory that travels this route across the river flows into a well-established web of traffickers moving north through Tanzania. At each stage, it's passed up the criminal chain. Evidence suggests it can often be handed on from Tanzanians to Chinese kingpins, who know it can fetch up to £1,000 a kilo on the Asian market. It's hard to get a fix on the ivory during this murky journey, until it reaches a pinch point as it leaves the continent. And a mountain of evidence suggests that Kenya is one of the key exit points. I'm on my way to Mombasa port because it's clear that a lot of ivory is getting out through Mombasa. In fact, in the last year, there have been 2 enormous seizures, but they weren't actually at the port. They were at the other end on arrival, one of them in Thailand and the other in Singapore. Thailand seizes 500 elephant tusks worth £4 million, which were hidden in sacks of tea leaves on a ship from Kenya. So they got through Mombasa without being detected. And I want to find out just how leaky this port is. Mombasa is the busiest port in East Africa, with over 1 million containers passing through here every year. The port authorities are notoriously sensitive about journalists, but I have managed to get permission to film with the Sniffer Dog Squad. Hi, Mark. Hello. Hello again. Mark Kinua is in charge of the unit of 2 dogs and their handlers. Thank you. Good to meet you. Diva and Rum can detect the faintest scent of ivory. Exactly. But there are thousands of containers passing through here every day. And these 2 dogs also have to cover the airport and a long stretch of the Kenya coastline. Ah, it's wood. 100% wood. Incredible smell. How many days a week are you here with your dogs?
Yesterday we were here, so sometimes we come 4 days in a week, 3 days in a week, depending on the amount of work outside.
And what's the biggest number of containers you would look at in a single day's work?
Perhaps 4 or something, Mr. Ian.
Okay.
Yes.
So 2, 3, 4 days a week, 2, 3, 4 containers a day.
Exactly.
Customs and the port's X-ray container scanning unit decide which containers to send for further checks by the dogs.
So how much success have you had with the sniffer dog team here in Mombasa Port?
Here in Mombasa Port, we yet register a success.
Isn't part of the problem here that it's a tiny amount of containers that you're actually searching? I mean, 15 or 20 a week at the most?
Exactly. You've just seen how many containers are we going through? I think 3, 4 now.
3 or 4 this morning, and none of them are destined for
is
Asia.
destined for Asia.
Right.
Yes, yes.
It's clear to me that Mark and his dogs are looking for needles in haystacks. After a little digging, I discover that many containers leaving the port are also, in fact, put through high-tech scanning machines. But certain exemptions are in place for some big companies. These exemptions are a problem, because the companies that have them deal in the very product in which large hauls of ivory have twice recently been found: tea. There's growing evidence that the billions being made in the illegal ivory trade is regularly buying enough turned heads at international borders like Mombasa for tons of ivory to get through. From here, the vast majority of smuggled ivory makes its way east towards Asia, where one city has long been a central hub for the Asian ivory trade. Ivory has been part of the culture here for centuries, but modern consumption really began to take off under the British administration during the boom years of the Hong Kong economy from the 1960s onwards. By 1987, Hong Kong's ivory workshops were consuming over 1/3 of the world's raw ivory.
Just heading out for a little explore. A bit of Hong Kong antiques window shopping. I just want to get a feel for what's on offer in this famously cosmopolitan city.
The international ban in 1989 was meant to stop the flow of fresh African ivory. But here in Hong Kong, there's still a legal domestic trade in pre-89 ivory, with 371 businesses licensed to sell it. So where's all this ivory coming from? Have the traders found ways of beating the ban, of laundering newly poached African ivory?
Can we come in?
Yes.
Is it okay to come in and do a little bit of filming? No? Why not?
This trader isn't at all keen to talk to me, and quickly shuts up shop. In fact, most of the traders here are clear about their attitude to cameras. Then, in a row of smart antique shops, I see a particularly spectacular window display.
Wow. That is staggering. It's just incredible craftsmanship.
Ivory is clearly a remarkable material, and the sheer skill and time required to work it explains why some of the larger pieces here are priced at over $1 million US. But this isn't elephant ivory.
Mammoth tusks. Our artworks are carved out from rare mammoth tusks that have been frozen for tens of thousands of years.
Mammoth ivory is entirely legal here. So is elephant ivory from before the 1989 ban. And here is a problem. Because if it's recently carved, mammoth ivory, pre-1989 ivory, and freshly poached ivory all look the same. Customs seizures here suggest that new ivory is regularly being smuggled into Hong Kong. It seems possible that Hong Kong traders could be passing off African poached ivory as the legal stuff.
Hi, Alex. How are you?
For clues on how they might be able to do this, I'm meeting up with Hong Kong wildlife campaigner Alex Hofford.
I guess what I can see straight away, just wandering around, is that It's a little bit of a minefield, what's legal and what isn't. But I imagine if I walk into a shop, and someone's going to tell me that it's legal.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, is that it's actually very, very difficult for law enforcement, for the media, for NGOs, and for the public, for anybody to really understand what the hell's going on. Is it pre-convention, or is it from after 1989? Who knows? And it's a big mess right now. And so what we know has been happening is that the amount of ivory that was in Hong Kong at the time of the ban in 1990 was 670 tons, okay? And then it went down quite sharply, and then it plateaued out, and it's been plateauing ever since. And the reason it's plateauing is because the traders have been feeding poached ivory from Africa into their existing stockpiles, and so that's where the laundering's been going on. They're buying from the criminal networks, perhaps the triads, right? Who are then buying from the other triad groups in Africa, who are buying it off the poachers. So that's the supply chain.
How many traders or shops have been successfully prosecuted and put out of business for selling illegal ivory?
None.
Not one?
Not one, no. There's a lot of loopholes. You know, the traders, they basically know how to play the game. They've been playing the game since 1989, and so they know every trick in the book.
To connect the Hong Kong ivory trade with the killing of African elephants, I need to prove that the shops here are constantly restocking their shelves with fresh ivory. I can't really do that with a camera crew in tow, so I'm going undercover.
So I'm going ivory shopping, but to do that convincingly, I need a cover story. And this is it. My name's Hugh Edmund, and I've started a business called Far-Flung Foods, exotic foods and gifts for adventurous spirits. But the real connection between Far-Flung Foods and ivory all boils down to one thing: chopsticks.
My cover story is that I'm in the market for a lot of ivory chopsticks as gifts for my best clients. My undercover partner and translator for the day is local campaigner Willie.
So here's the next thing. We need to do some secret filming in there. So we're recording now. In fact, we're probably pointing at our crew here. So if you pop that in your pocket, okay?
Yeah, perfect.
Let's do it. Morning. Thank you. Hello.
Hello, hi, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. Do you sell ivory chopsticks?
Yes, we do.
So I have a business.
Okay, yes, yeah, okay, yeah.
And so I might want quite a lot.
Sure,
yeah.
sure, yes, no
Okay.
problem at all, yes.
Maybe 50 pairs to begin with.
Yeah,
And this is elephant ivory, not mammoth?
Yeah.
It's elephant?
Elephant.
Okay. Do you think it will be easy for me to take this back to the UK?
UK, you go early in the morning.
4 a.m.
4 a.m.
4 a.m. Heathrow?
Yeah, no customs.
No customs?
Yeah.
Very clever.
Yeah.
It's a useful tip if you're smuggling ivory into the UK, which is, of course, illegal.
How are you? Mostly mammoth or mostly ivory here?
Mostly ivory.
These look good. So I might want quite a lot, like maybe 50 pairs.
Okay, I have here now.
Okay, thank you. Hi. I'm interested in buying quite a lot of chopsticks. What does that literally say there?
High quality Congo but ivory.
This is from the Congo. Is this new ivory?
Oh, before 1989.
Before 1989. But so the ivory is old, but are the chopsticks new?
You use now, just use now. You cut it.
That went well. A huge amount of product in there.
Yeah.
Huge. I mean, thousands of figurines. He said he's got a factory. You know, the implication is that they're churning that stuff out. They can do it to order. They've got a factory ready to pump out new pieces of ivory on demand to a customer's designs. How's that possible 25 years after the Hong Kong stockpile of ivory was supposed to stop growing in any way, shape or form?
I need to find out where these fresh supplies are coming from. But my cover story's taken me as far as I can go, and I need some more help.
Thanks so much for coming, guys.
Ray and James, not their real names, are undercover operators ready to pose as credible buyers from the biggest Asian market of all, mainland China.
I think my opportunities as a Westerner are really limited. If they're going to open up, they need to have a sense that they're talking to someone who's a bit of a player, who's interested in doing a bigger bit of business with them. And you guys are going to fit that bill so much better.
I think the cover story can be we are sourcing ivory as raw material for sculpture.
Okay, so you basically want to buy tusks. Yeah, I mean, that's going to cut straight to the chase. Really, really straightforward.
Okay, thanks.
Really look forward to catching up with you later. Good luck, guys.
Good luck.
Yeah, seriously.
While Ray and James hit the shops undercover, I'm going for the best open interview I can get. The company secretary of the Hong Kong Ivory Manufacturers Association has agreed to be filmed at his workshop.
Thank you very much for inviting me in.
His name is Daniel Chan.
This is the mammal, not ivory.
Mammoth?
Yeah.
Okay.
This is the mammal. And what are we doing since 1990? We are doing the mammal. This is the mammal material.
This is mammoth tusks, is it?
Yeah.
A little look at them.
Yeah.
This is all mammoth.
Yeah.
Is this also mammoth?
Yeah.
Well, I'll take your word for it. I've seen your figures, your carvings.
Because
in the cases on the way in.
Yeah.
Where is that ivory from?
I already said I start the ivory business. I just selling what I have in stock.
Well, let's have a look at it, and you can tell me.
Okay.
Okay.
This is ivory.
This is all elephant ivory.
Yeah.
So when were these made?
I think it's before 1990.
I really don't think so. These pieces are new.
How do you think it's new?
Because they didn't have that plastic wrapping technology in 1990.
Please,
You're telling me these pieces were made before 1990?
This is my father made this.
Okay.
He is 103 years old. This is made my father. This is made my father.
These two?
This also.
He made these pieces?
Yeah.
Really, in 1990?
Yeah.
So all these really fresh, new-looking pieces, shrink-wrapped in plastic, were made by your father? It just seems very unlikely to me. You're saying you have bought no ivory from elephants since 1990? None? Zero?
After.
Yeah.
I have buy after 1990 is from come from the Europe pre-consumption ivory.
Really, in pre-convention ivory from Europe. Can you buy that?
Yes.
That's legal?
Yes. Now, the Hong Kong government still can import the pre-convention ivory from Europe now.
Have you bought European ivory yourself?
Yes.
When?
Last year.
You were buying and selling European ivory last year?
Yeah.
How can you prove that this ivory is pre-convention or pre-1990? How can you prove it?
It's follow the document, license.
So you bought this pre-convention ivory and it's from Europe? You know?
Here, license. You read by yourself.
Country of re-export, the Netherlands. And the country of origin is Mozambique. Pre-convention specimen acquired during 1960 to 1970.
Yeah.
Pretty vague. It's been stamped and licensed for re-export at The Hague. If that's a legal document, why are you snatching it away from me?
You are not my customer. And even now, I don't know who are you. Nonsense.
You wanted to show me your license, so I thought you would be happy.
I just told you I have a license.
Okay, so I thought
because you are not my customer, I cannot show to you. This is my private.
I thought you...
secret. Okay?
I think our conversation has reached its conclusion. But I have discovered one of the ways that ivory shops in Hong Kong are being restocked. And it's one which clearly has the potential to launder poached ivory too.
So it seems that you can bring ivory into Hong Kong if it's pre-convention ivory, and particularly from the EU, there's a paperwork, a system that allows you to bring it in. So they can bring in EU ivory and rework it and sell it legally. You know, I feel pretty uneasy about that. I mean, that's basically the idea that Europe's offloading its stocks of ivory that it's no longer particularly interested in order to make money and at the same time fuel the ivory trade. Okay, it's legal, but it's just still perpetuating the supply of ivory to Hong Kong and adding extra possible cover for illegal imports. I don't think that's a very responsible thing for the EU to be doing.
Ray and James are back from their undercover trawl, and I'm wondering if they've unearthed any evidence of recently poached African ivory.
I've got you backlit again. Can't wait to see what you've got.
Yes.
And any good?
Yeah.
Let's have a look.
We went to shop number 3 and we just asked, we want some raw material for ivory tusks. 广州的师傅给我介绍，你们经理是吧？你是雷啊？雷。
This is the boss? This is ivory here, isn't it? That's a lot of ivory. Oh my God, can I pause it there?
Yes.
Wow. That's a lot of ivory. That was just lying on the floor? Wow.
没问题，但主要是从哪里进来的？
一般来说都是欧洲。
So that's also from Europe.
他们搞那个出口证要时间嘛。
Old ivory from Europe again. Dozens of whole tusks this time. Like Mr. Chan, this dealer says it's legal. But what's shocking here is the scale of it.
但是呢，有一个统计的，单在那个法国境内。
He's got access to 200 tons of ivory in France.
Yes.
All old ivory.
All old ivory.
私人收藏的统计这就是私人收藏的还有这么多啊。当然了，你要找要时间，但是也
It seems that quite a lot of people in Europe are selling their ivory, and quite a lot of it's ending up here in Hong Kong.
He said when we said, oh, we want a town, one town. He said, oh, one town is definitely not a problem.
It certainly sounds like a less risky way to bring ivory into Hong Kong than bringing freshly poached African ivory, but it could also be a cover for freshly poached African ivory. Fascinating and I think really useful stuff. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Real pleasure working with you.
My pleasure.
The ivory trade here is clearly being replenished and fueled by material coming from right under our noses in Europe, and all apparently legal. With Hong Kong's lax enforcement, 0 prosecutions to date, remember, it would be so easy to quietly add recently poached African ivory to your pile of recently imported European ivory.
I'm on my way to the airport. I'm flying back to the UK tonight, and I've literally just downloaded a video clip sent by one of our contacts in Hong Kong of some undercover filming they did, and it's quite clearly the same trader who was talking to my guys from the mainland about the European ivory. It's the same office, same guy, and actually here you could just see it's the same tusk, so it must be very recently. But in this clip, he says quite clearly here, I can get ivory from Africa any time, and I can sell it to you.
对，我在非洲给你寄。直接从非洲寄。那就好了，那也是。
So the question I've been pondering about whether this pre-convention European ivory that's being imported legally into Hong Kong could be getting used as cover for illegal African ivory seems to be answered here.
从非洲哪里？
He's selling European ivory, he's offering to sell African ivory. The two are being mingled by the same dealer in the same office.
And if he's doing it, it seems likely others are doing it too. the sheer quantity of European ivory reaching Asia has been a real eye-opener. And my next question is, how much of it's coming from the UK? Historically, we've certainly been deeply involved with the ivory trade.
In this London warehouse, where tusks have been coming in since the days of Charles II, the latest consignments are cut up for the first stage of their transformation into ivory-backed brushes, mirrors and combs.
To satisfy the fancies of an expanding middle class, between 1860 and 1920, Britain imported the tusks of an estimated 1.1 million African elephants. That's more than twice as many elephants as are alive in Africa today. The sale or export of raw ivory is now banned in the UK. But surprising as it may seem, the trade in antique ivory pieces is still legal. Although the Conservative Party promised to press for a total ban on the UK ivory market in both their 2010 and 2015 manifestos, here we are in the summer of 2016 and it still hasn't happened. And you can find ivory pieces on sale all over Britain, in auctions, antique shops, and increasingly online. So who's doing the buying? And where does UK ivory end up?
Come in.
I've asked auctioneer and TV antiques expert James Lewis to help me take a look at the market.
Oh, pleasure. Have a seat. I've been looking at some of the online auctions that you mentioned. What's your estimate of how many ivory pieces get sold in the UK in the average week?
500 to 1,000 pieces, I should think.
Really?
Yeah.
So sort of 20 to 50,000 pieces a year? Really? Do you have any sense of who the buyers normally are?
Yeah, I mean, as an auctioneer, when you're on the rostrum, you see the live bidding numbers flashing up on your screen. And in the top right-hand corner, there's a code, a country code. So you know exactly where those bids are coming from. And when you get a solid block, something carved that has a weight to it, that's where the Chinese and the Vietnamese are buying it.
So they're ending up on sale in the same countries that are... That have a high demand for illegal ivory.
Yeah.
Tell me exactly what the rules are here. I mean, people selling this, what are they allowed to sell, what are they not allowed to sell?
Anything really pre-1947 is legal to sell.
That's the critical date?
That's the rule.
I mean, some of them, it's not really clear how old they are at all. They don't even necessarily put a date on anything here.
See, that's the problem. It is so difficult. It's not like a piece of silver that has a hallmark, where you can say that dates to that year. And when it's so difficult, it's difficult to enforce the law and it's difficult to ensure that you're not breaking the law.
This is an overview.
I show James what's on sale over the next couple of days. I'm wondering if he can spot any pieces that might be breaking the law.
Let's just scroll down and stop at anything that you think looks particularly interesting, James. I mean, here's a solid ivory piece.
I'm quite suspicious of that. It's got the pale colour, it's got the inked beard, it hasn't faded at all.
So if I wanted to prove beyond doubt that there is illegal post-1947 ivory being traded in the UK on sites like this, buying this piece and getting it dated could prove that.
Yeah, it's worth giving it a go.
OK.
This piece is one of dozens being auctioned live online today.
60, 70. Do you want to bid?
Yeah. Somebody's also very keen on this piece.
Yeah, do you want to go 140?
We're going up in tens now, yeah.
140, it's there, 140.
Oh, it's telling us we've won. Yeah, there we go.
We've got it. Gosh.
OK.
With the help of James's keen eye, I buy several more pieces that look a bit suspect.
Available for
I'm sending them off for the one test that can prove their age and legality beyond doubt. Radiocarbon dating.
It'd be interesting to see how old this piece turns out to be. But there's really no question that European ivory is heading over to China and other Asian countries where it's continuing to stimulate a market that definitely includes illegal ivory.
Yeah, exactly the same market as the modern poached ivory.
So how much UK ivory is making its way to Asia? Official figures from the Hong Kong government show that last year, over 2,500 pieces of UK ivory arrived in Hong Kong alone. more than twice as many as the previous year. The radiocarbon dating work on my UK ivory purchases is complete, so I'm heading to Oxford University to meet Professor Chris Ramsey for the big result.
Chris, hi.
Oh, hello.
How are you?
Very nice to meet you.
Very nice to see you. How's it going?
Good.
Oh, and here they are.
Yes, that's right. So these are the ivories.
So you've taken a tiny amount of ivory from each object. What have you done with it then?
Yeah, so that powdered ivory is just purified and converted into a form that we can then measure it on our accelerator mass spectrometer.
The accelerator mass spectrometer?
That's right.
This vast machine collects and counts the carbon-14 atoms from our samples, which will give us the date when the ivory being tested was still growing on a living elephant.
Just to be clear, I'm looking for anything that's post-1947. I'd like to start with the piece that's described as 17th to 18th century here. What does your carbon testing tell us it is?
Right, so that date is coming through at 1972 to 1974.
You're kidding?
With a very small probability in the 1960s, so it's definitely after 1950.
Wow. OK, on to the tiger.
So this is one which is probably pre-1950. It could be anything from about sort of 1700 later, but quite likely the Victorian period.
OK. What about this African lady's head?
So that one is the most likely 1978 to 1980.
Really? Late 70s? Wow. OK.
The date proves that this ivory piece is illegal in the UK. But it's not the date when the elephant died. It's when the ivory actually formed in the elephant's head. So these illegal pieces could have come from animals that died much more recently.
Lastly, this sort of lantern candle burner.
So this is either sort of 62, 63 or the 1980s, so 1980, 82.
Another illegal piece of ivory. So 4 out of 9 pieces definitely illegal, shouldn't be on sale, and another 2, even though the ivory's older, are illegal by virtue of being recently reworked. I don't know about you, Chris, but I find that pretty extraordinary.
Shouldn't really be for sale at all.
These results are really shocking. This is modern ivory. It could be from elephants that were killed in Africa in the last 10 years. That's worrying enough. But actually, I think the real problem is the sheer quantity of UK ivory that's now streaming into the Asian market. More than 2,500 pieces arrived in Hong Kong last year. And this ivory is all going to restock and stimulate the same Asian market that we know is selling poached ivory from Africa. I think that makes us part of the problem. Now, we have a government who's pledged twice now to end the UK ivory trade. So why hasn't that happened? I think we deserve an answer to that question, and I'm going to make it my business to get one.